There are two main types of tints that most people end up getting, which is dyed tint and ceramic tint. Now, ceramic tint is the more expensive one. So on top of just giving you the dark privacy, with ceramic tint, you also get UV protection that helps keep the interior of your car cool in the summertime. So if you live somewhere that's very hot, like Florida, for example, ceramic tint, even though it's a little bit more expensive, may be worth it for you. I live in New England, so we have 4 seasons, and I just don't want to spend that much money on the tint. I believe what I have is dyed tint from 3M, and it was installed by the mobile tint shop, and they also tinted my last car. So that's what I decided to go with, and even though it's not ceramic, it does provide some sort of protection from the sun. Like, the car is definitely a lot cooler with it than without it. Don't get me wrong, it's still hot and it doesn't do as well as ceramic tint, but it does make a difference. So that's another thing that you guys also have to consider. What is the real reason of why you guys are getting ceramic tints? Some people want the privacy, some people want the UV protection. So that is all up onto you. Excuse the car, it's all dirty from the pollen, spring season, but yeah. So I myself personally have 45% in the front, 15s all around, and in my personal opinion, I think it is just the right amount of darkness that I need. Don't get me wrong, during a sunny day, especially on a warm sunny day, you will be able to see through it a little bit, okay? Or actually quite a good amount, especially if you have a moonroof. Another aspect that a lot of people don't take into consideration when trying to guess how dark their tint's gonna come out is if you have a moonroof slash sunroof or not, okay? And what that, for example, if you have a Tesla, right? The Tesla is a panoramic glass roof that goes across all the way over. You can get 5% tints, and it will be very, very dark, but it won't be as dark as someone with a car roof like this, because there's just not the same amount of sunlight or light that is coming through the top and coming out the windows on the sides, right? So right now, the moonroof, and yes, all you guys that are mad that I'm saying moonroof, the window sticker actually says moonroof. The moonroof is closed and you cannot see through. So that, see right here, very, very dark because of all the reflections from all the surrounding areas, right? The sunlight bouncing off, the shadows of the trees and everything. These angles, everything looks so dark. Even in person right now, I can't see through it. But when we are standing directly in front of it with no any kind of glare, no nothing, you can see right through. So those are the things that you got to keep in mind when getting tints. And then when you get tints, it doesn't come out looking how you expect it to look. That's probably why. Little things like that do matter. So from the inside, visibility is excellent. You guys just have to keep in mind, my tints aren't actually that dark. They just look kind of dark on camera. It is only 15% on the driver and passengers, and then 45% on the fronts. So visibility is not an issue. The weather and the time of day does change how your tints look. As you guys can see, even in person, I cannot see through because of the lighting that we are in right now. The sun is setting, it's about 7 p.m. Clear skies, a little bit of clouds, not too much, but this is exactly what I'm talking about, guys. And for a point of reference, if I go up closer, you might be able to. You see that is my headrest pillow that is in there. I'm not really quite sure how well it shows up on camera, but that is the point of reference for how see-through it is. As you guys can see, the farther away I back up, right here is about 5 feet away, and you can't even see anything anymore. So these are the type of things that you guys have to keep in mind when you are trying to get tints yourself. The type of area you live in also matters, okay? The amount of cop attention also matters. So depending on the type of area that you live in, what kind of cops you have, how many stadies are in your area, that does make a difference on how often you are going to get pulled over. Regardless though, if you guys choose to go darker than what is allowed in your state, you do have to be prepared to the risk of getting a ticket somewhere down the line. Unfortunately, think of it as a premium subscription that you have to pay if you want to have these kind of dark tints. Just hold on, there's a good guy going by. getting his exercise in. Anyways, what I really wanted was just a little bit of a darker look from what I had. I had a 35% and no front windshield tint on my last car. I wanted to be darker and more private this time around, so I went with 15s and 45 in the front. And so far it has been amazing and great. Now, knowing what you guys know, there are also tons and tons of other tint options. In my personal opinion, for people who don't know much tints, there are like 3 categories. The regular dyed one, the ceramic, and then you got color tint. Color tint, in my personal opinion, you guys should actually just stay away from, especially if you don't want to risk getting a ticket. It draws in way too much attention. They're super illegal. And then I just don't, honestly, they don't look as good as your dark regular black tints. To each their own cup. That's just my personal opinion. The ticket aspect of owning a car with dark tints is that at some point it is inevitable. There is something you can do to prevent a tint waiver, and to qualify for a tint waiver you need to suffer from some sort of eye condition where you're very sensitive to sunlight. You just have to speak to your eye doctor, especially if they don't know. They usually recommend you to somebody who can give you that tint waiver, and then you just have to bring it to your R&B and get that registered for your vehicle and all that stuff. I don't have it, but I do, and I am planning on trying to apply for it because I do wear glasses, and I've never been diagnosed, but I am a little sensitive to the sun. That is a beginner's guide to tint. Hopefully you guys gain a little bit of perspective and help choose what you guys want to do. Even right here, look at this, look at how dark it looks. It looks very dark, but it's all because of how the sky is. You got to keep that in mind. Okay, the time of day and the condition of the sky will change how dark your tints look. If it's raining and it's cloudy, your tint will not be see-through. Even at 35%, I remember my car looking extra dark on rainy days on my last car. I believe that is everything I need to cover for a little beginner's guide and my opinions on the tints. Please let me know if you have any other questions. Keep in mind, I'm not an expert at any point, like in my bio says. I'm just some amateur guy trying to make things work while giving you guys a little bit of my perspective along the way, and hopefully you'll get a couple laughs. Anyways, I hope you guys found that video a little entertaining, a little useful, and I will catch you guys in the next video next week.